Hello Internet and welcome to ACD Camping, the home of woodland shenanigans on a shoestring budget. I'm ACD and in this video I'd like to discuss cheap equipment. Now this is something that comes with a personal cautionary lesson. In days gone by when I first started on my road to camping, I didn't really know what I was needing or what was really required. I thought that reading or watching reviews online would give me pointers. I wasn't really that up on how social media worked, paid reviews and promotions were not something that I'd even considered. So I'd watch these videos saying how this thing or that was the best thing since sliced bread, check eBay and Amazon, order it and pay for it when I had the money, then in some cases be very sorely disappointed. From canteens that had the water retention skills of tracing paper to a rucksack that literally disintegrated whilst halfway over a stile. Yes, these sites offer refunds, but if it's a third-party seller, this can take a lot of haggling and backwards and forwards of sending and receiving emails. Plus, it might take weeks for a replacement or a refund to arrive. Other channels will have you believe that £400 tent that they are promoting is the much nuts. But that's more than a month's rent where I'm currently living. And, well, let's be realistic. Should it catch on a sharp rock or you inadvertently trip over one of the guidelines and pull it out, it'll still rip and tear the same way as that £15 single man dome tent that you got from Home Bargains. Yeah, it lasted about a year and I gave it hell. So what tips and advice can I give you that I've come by learning from experience? Well, for a start, before I look online, there's 4 places in my local area that I like to check out when hunting for new equipment. Charity shops, the seasonal aisle of supermarkets in the run up to summer, car boot sales, and military surplus stores. The latter being that they are relatively cheap and the stuff that they sell is designed and used in conditions far beyond what the average camper or hiker will experience in their lifetime, hopefully. Car boot sales and charity shops occasionally have hidden gems stuffed at the back of a shelf or at the bottom of a box. I always like to have a good rummage. You never know what I will find, and of course the seasonal or middle aisle of supermarkets can amongst the will probably last a weekend at Creamfields quality items. There can sometimes be a much hidden needed gem that you never knew that you required. Let's now look at what I check for when I find a sleeping bag or tent whilst out shopping. The first thing I look at is the stitching. That's my personal litmus test. Does it look like it'll hold up against a hike, or in the case of a tent, stand the test against inclement weather? In the case of second-hand goods, I check to see if there's any holes in them. I check the zips, are they catching? Brand new equipment, the same goes for those zips. So some of the lower end equipment, the zips are generic and they have a habit of catching in the most weird places. So that's something worth checking out before you pass on your hard-earned currency. For cook kits, I tend to stick to either military surplus or whatever I can find in the seasonal aisle. For instance, the 58 pattern mug here and bottle. That's my favourite option, or the small single-walled aluminium bottles. You can get these from Poundland during the summer. As for means of cooking, I prefer to keep things small and light that can easily fit in the side pocket should it be required. You've already seen the tobacco tin stove. I also use hexamine stoves, and this here is a gel stove. They're £3 or thereabouts, and there's enough gel in them to cook a couple of meals. Along with the hexamine stove, I either use Fire Dragon or I make my own scalp cubes using cotton wool, Vaseline and candles. There's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to make those, and I think I've discussed them in a previous video as well. When you decide to take that leap into the unknown and go camping, don't blow all your cash all at once. Buy 1 or 2 items whenever you get the chance. Test them out at home so then you know how to put them up and use them adequately. Don't do what I did and go off some random review off the internet on something that's only available online. Go check out the charity shops. They'll appreciate your custom, and you know that cash, it's going to a good cause. Check out the military surplus stores. It's cheap and the stock is generally built to last. Car boot sales, they're a literal treasure trove of stuff. Have a look around, and finally, that seasonal aisle is a great place to bag a bargain. The quality may be a bit hit and miss, so keep that receipt handy just in case. Get rummaging, you never know what you might find.